guys, and welcome to my channel. This is my first tutorial of how to build a gaming computer. So please be gentle in your comments. My name is Ash, and I will talk you through the list of what you need to pick for a gaming PC first. What I would advise, if you do buy components, buy number one from reputable brand companies like Asus or EVGA. Don't buy things from eBay. If you do buy from eBay, be very careful and do select your sellers based on their ratings. There are problems on eBay. There are some people who are okay, but some components are terrible on arrival. Okay. The other thing I would suggest is to pick your parts from a website like UK Parts Picker. It's not the only website. What this website does, it gives you compatibility components for all of your stuff. For example, you won't have to worry whether this processor will fit onto this motherboard. And also it gives you a comparative website list of where you could get parts for cheap. And the last thing, it also gives you an estimated watt ratage for your power supply. Okay, so let's go through the components we've picked for today. This is a build for a client. And we had a budget of about £800, including the operating software. If you have an operating software license, a genuine one, then this build will set you back £734.18. The one last note is I have a USB for the Windows installation, so I have not included a DVD drive in this build. Most people do not use a DVD drive anymore, very few. But if you do need one, you can pick one up from most retailers at about £12, brand new, dirt cheap. Okay, so let's start with the parts, and I'll go through the list. Right, first you need a case where all your components is going to go in. Number two, you need a processor or CPU. This is a CPU cooler, an aftermarket CPU cooler, which you don't really need for gaming. You only need these if you're going to be doing some overclocking, but you're including in this build. It was my client's choice. Third, I should say fourth, but it's actually third because CPU and cooler comes together. This is a motherboard that you're going to need to be able to connect all your parts together. Some RAM memory sticks. You need a power supply to power all your components. You need storage, but in this case we chose a SSD drive for our Windows operating system to boot fast, and also a storage normal hard drive. And last but not least, and the most important component when it comes to gaming, is the graphics processor unit or GPU. So there you have it, guys, the list of components you need for a gaming PC. Now, I will see you in a few seconds, and we're going to go through each component one by one. Hey guys, welcome back. Now I'm going to talk you through each component and a bit of brief description and how much cost and where we got it from. Most of these components were bought from Amazon, except for the graphics card, which I got from Overclockers. Okay, so let's start with the case. This is a Zalman Z9 MIDI tower case, all black interior and exterior. This cost us £30.91. It's not the smallest case, it's not the biggest or the most fanciest case neither, but for the price bracket, it's not bad for the quality. Okay. Next, the CPU is the FX8350, probably one of the best CPUs from AMD. This beauty is a beast at an 8-core processor of 4.0 GHz stock clock speed, and it's on the AM3 Plus platform. The watts consumption is 125 watts, and this is the retail box black edition from Amazon that we picked for £117.58. This was on offer. The normal retail price at the moment, November 7th of 2004, 7th November 2014, is about £126 in most retail shops. Right. For the aftermarket cooler, we picked the Hyper 212 from Evo with 120mm fan. This cost us £24.97. Now, my client will not be doing any overclocking, but he really wanted something that, in case he did some overclocking in the future that he would need, you could go for a cheaper option at about £16. There's some decent aftermarket cooler. However, if you are going to do overclocking, then I would suggest definitely get good quality aftermarket cooler. Okay, again from Amazon, £24.97. Next on the list, our motherboard from Asus is the M5878L-N/USB 3 motherboard. This is not anything fancy. This is not a gaming edition one, but it has everything you need for a normal gaming, even some overclocking. It does have USB 3.0 at the back port, but it does not have internal USB 3 connector if you had a case with 3.0. I believe our case does not have USB 3.0, that's correct, so we'll be doing just fine. Okay, and this cost us £52, again from Amazon. I think it was on offer, maybe slightly a few pounds more expensive if you get it at normal price. Right, for the memory, I actually chose a different memory configuration and different color for better color coding, but my client chose this one. This is the HyperX Fury in configuration of 2x4GB at 1866 MHz of DDR3 RAM, CL10. Just a note to the side, 1866 MHz is the perfect sweet spot as far as gaming is concerned. Any higher than 1866, you will not get any return for your extra money. So do check it out. Some reviews on YouTube will give you more information than this. Okay, next, to power our whole system, we chose the EVGA Supernova 650 watt G1 Gold fully modular power supply unit, retailing at £63.31. By the way, I forgot to mention, this costs us just under £60 at £59.98 from Amazon. Okay, the power supply, £63.31. This is an 80 plus gold certified, so fantastic for energy efficiency. You could go for an 80 plus bronze, really. I mean, it wouldn't make that much of a difference. It would be a lot cheaper as well. But you shouldn't really go for any less than 650 watt. You could go for 600 possibly, but the graphics card will demand some juice. Okay, and did I say this cost me £63.31? I think I did. Okay, right. Now, for the heart of this build, of any gaming build, is the GPU. And my client insisted he wanted the GeForce GTX 780 Ti. So we picked the Zotac Overclock Edition. This is 3 GB of GDDR5 PCI Express graphics card. I'm not particularly familiar with the brand Zotac. I did suggest, I think it was an MSI or a Gigabyte version. However, my client got this on a rebate from Overclockers, and he said he checked out the review, so I can't give you an unbiased opinion. I'm not saying it's good, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just saying this is what he picked, so hopefully it should do fine. Let's hope. Okay, and for the storage and the boot, so for the boot drive, we picked the 64 GB SATA 6 GB per second SSD 370 from Transcend, and it only cost us £35.44. And for the matte storage, we went with the Western Digital Black 500 GB 64 MB cache and 7,200 RPM at £46.99. I did recommend 1 TB, and I recommended a different cheaper hard drive, like even you could go with a Western Digital Caviar Blue, or even a Seagate or a Toshiba, and it will cost you a lot cheaper. I think for about £35 you could get 1 TB. But anyway, this is a decent one, and if it needs more space, I guess you'll have to put a different drive on. Okay, and last, like I said before, we're going to be using a USB installer for our Windows. Okay, there you have it, guys. All the components you need for a gaming build. This is the configuration we picked. It's not the best configuration you can get, but it's possibly one of the cheapest out there, except for the graphics card. The graphics card is an overkill for what he's going to play. There are lesser expensive ones, but this is a really the GeForce 780 Ti needs no introduction. So anyway, guys, so next we're going to be starting the build, and I'm going to talk you through the whole process step by step. So stay tuned and see you soon. Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going to start building the computer. We're going to go step by step. First is the case. I'm reminding you, this is for the Zalman Z9 MIDI Tower case, black. I was going to do unboxing and a product review, but I don't have time today, so we'll just do this another time. Okay, what you should start with is the case. Prep it before you actually put any components inside. The only tool you're going to ever need for building a PC is this screwdriver. It's a Phillips screwdriver. Small in size, not too big, and that's all you should need. Very rarely will you need a smaller one. Sometimes you may need a flat screwdriver just to pop things out, but I've never needed to use this. And also, you may need a cutter, and that's just initially to, for example, it's a new case, I need to cut some of the tie-ins. However, I have done 99% of builds and repairs just using a screwdriver. Seriously, that's all you need. Okay, the other thing you need to remember, try to use a surface which is non-static. So don't put this on the carpet, it's a bad idea, or on a piece of cloth. Try always like wood, or even you can put it in cartons, should be fine. Right, the other precaution you should take if you want, some people are a bit, they're a bit anxious about this, is an anti-static bracelet you can buy off eBay or any other shop. Or you could put it around your wrist or around your ankles. What it does is protects any static electricity from your body to go into the components, mainly things like the motherboard, the power supply, the RAM, etc. However, I have done many builds and repairs. I do not use one myself. If you want to use one, do so. If you are very cautious, you should be fine. Just remember to always, before you touch a component, to touch the case so you discharge electricity from your body. Okay? Okay, let's start with prepping the case. This Zalman case comes with two less screws, so I'm just going to slide open the side panel first. Right, you just really pull out and it should come off. And put this to the side. We get the manual out. There's some screws in there and some rubberized grommets, and that looks like a PCI connector and some tie-ins. Some sort of visual inspection report. Put this to the side, and we have the cables, which these are not tie-ins, so I can just undo these. So it's a good idea to always start with prepping your case. I can't see which side is to go. Okay, there you go. And they look to be long. Okay, just a bit of problem with the light here. So anyway, I took the one of the tie-ins off, and the cables. They look to be going through the back, which means this case looks to have decent cable management. It shouldn't be too bad. It comes with pre-installed 120mm back fan, and maybe you can't see it here, but it has a pre-installed 120mm front fan. Okay. I'm not going to be installing any water cooling system in this case, no extra fans. This is just a basic build because my client will not be doing overclocking and extreme gaming. But there are a lot of expansions for cooling systems or extra fans and radiators should you choose so. I also may need to take this off because right now there's only 290 millimeters distance for the graphics card. I'm not sure how long my graphics card is, but this should come off, which will give me extra length, I think up to 420 millimeters, so it should be fine. Okay, I will also suggest that you undo the back panel, again with the two less screws which slide off, because we're going to need to access the back. As you can see, there's already some sort of cable management going on here, a nice cutout to be able to deal with the motherboard and the CPU cooler. Right, I also would recommend that you take off the front panel, and I think this one is a bit of a pain to do, so I'm going to do this in a minute. But there you have it, guys. So that's the preparation for the case, and we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, guys, I would suggest you also take the front panel. Most cases they have some sort of tabs inside there, and also at the back, which you need to be pushing. Some of them are quite difficult. This one was not too bad. I was able to push them out with my fingers. So just put your fingers through and push them. There's 3, 1, 2, 3 on each side. Okay, so I've pushed them in, and then this front panel should come off quite easily. Okay, and this is a cable-less front panel. There are some foam for extra dust filtering, dust filtering. Quite cool. Okay, so what I would suggest you do, we're going to turn this onto the side to have a better view of the inside of the case. So if my associate would just come up and show you inside the case. Right, like I said before, there are spaces for extra fans at the bottom and radiator fans or fans at the top. This is a bottom mounted CPU, so bottom mounted power supply. So the power supply will go down here, and I think we're going to try to put it so the fan faces down, so it sucks air into the power supply and the exhaust out. Okay, right. This case comes with 1, 2, 3, 4 standoffs pre-screwed. You should check with your motherboard to see the placement of the standoffs. These standoffs, they raise the board up so that the board doesn't touch the case and prevents short circuiting. It's very important you make sure these are installed, and I will show you the next step and we insert the motherboard. Okay, that's it for now.